Hey everybody, this is Lucimadio again, the CEO and founder of Profastic Group right here in Cape Town, Western Cape, South Africa. Once more, we are here on our podcast, which is the Professor podcast, and I have a really wonderful guest that is going to be sharing around doing business in Western Cape, policies involved and how SMMEs as well can be able to access funding and the challenges around that. So I have here at the platform Ms Renee Andrews. She is the Deputy Principal, the Deputy Chairperson of Business Western Cape. She's also involved into construction, a wonderful lady that I've known for a very long time, and I wish that you will get a lot of insight from what she's going to be saying. Quickly, welcome Ms. Renee Andrews. It's a pleasure to have you on the platform.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
I trust we're going to have a very informative session together.
Yes, that's what we actually really want, right?
Yes,
Well, I want the people to get to know you a little bit more. I do know you already for some time, but I want the audience, the people on the other side, to get to know who is Ms. Renee Andrews.
all right. So a part of what I do, I am the Deputy Chair for Business Western Cape. I'm also the Treasurer General for the Black Business Chamber. I'm an entrepreneur, so I have my own company that does construction supply. And in all of that, I do a little bit of trading as well as finding investment opportunities for small and medium enterprises as well as projects. So that in a nutshell is basic of what I do.
Wonderful. But now jumping quickly on what really made us to be here, I wanted just you to share a little bit on, the economic landscape of Western Cape. What is your opinion around that? How does the business landscape of Western Cape looks like at the moment?
Look, in comparison to the other provinces, when we talk to our investors, the Western Cape has got the most favorable attention from investors, where they are very keen on investing in the businesses merely because within the province there's been a lot of work done, not just in and amongst the communities, but infrastructure and development. So our investors are looking at this. Seems to be one of the very well-run provinces in South Africa.
Oh wow. But when you say one of the well-run provinces in South Africa, in what perspective are you touching?
There's a lot because, and I'm not necessarily just looking at, any political party or anything in that aspect, but when we look at the growth that's taken place, specifically also in construction, this has been the fastest developing province than in South Africa. Houses and various construction buildings, upgrading, a lot of those infrastructures has taken place, and so it's made it a lot more favorable. Also, aside from that, our harbour developments that's now starting to take place. So there's a lot of work going into ensuring that not only is it a huge tourist attraction, Cape Town is one of the most beautiful scenic places in the world.
That's true.
So it attracts our tourists, but it's also attracting opportunities because once our tourists arrive, they see the beauty in the landscape and they want to be a part of it. So,
but then jumping from what you just said, what are the for someone on the other side that is looking at, okay, I want to start a business in Western Cape. What industries or what sectors do you believe are the best sectors to actually, and more promising to actually start a business?
Look, it varies because there's a lot, as we have it in Cape Town. We also know that construction is very volatile at the moment. So for myself, being in construction and talking to various entities or bodies that are involved in construction, has been very challenging. But when we look at filming and media, We look at a lot of our top entrepreneurs are relocating to the Western Cape. So there's a lot of opportunities. A lot of entrepreneurs, SMMEs, not just starting up, but like I say, relocating from the other provinces because it's attracted huge investment opportunities in the Western Cape. So it has become lucrative for people. But if I look at, you know, just the filming industry, if I look at construction as well, but we have challenges with our construction mafia, so that's kind of put a spin on it. But you know, the city of Cape Town has been very proactive in all of those aspects, making it a better place to navigate in business and also construction, trying to make it as safe as possible. So for that, I mean, I applaud what the city of Cape Town, you know, is doing in terms of assisting businesses too.
I actually wanted to ask you also on that point, because when you say that the city of Cape Town have been also doing a lot of work to ensuring that the Western Cape, or let's just look at the city of Cape Town, you know, have a very smooth business, you know, environment. But then I wanted to know on that key, what are the things that the Western Cape government has put in place to support small and medium enterprises?
Well, one just needs to go to their webpage, and on social media, they've advertised drastically. I look at what our mayor's done, and he's gone into townships, looking at the sewer systems, looking at the gangsterism, that type of thing. But for businesses, what they've done is they've had, if you have an issue that you would like the mayoral committee to look at, or for businesses, the first Thursday in every month, they've promoted that. They also promoting that businesses workshops in terms of meeting one business coming in and showcasing what you have and meeting other businesses as well. So they've really been they've been hands-on, even looking at the red tape scenario. So you could actually even, there's a division that's been set up. So if you're having problems and you cannot get your approvals through government or whatever, they have done quite a lot of drives in terms of promoting employment, upskilling people, even business initiatives where you can meet and greet, you know. So they've been very proactive pushing for entrepreneurs, because if we look at you know, where we are at this point, most of our state-owned enterprises has failed, and that's one of the things that's been sad. But what they've done is they've done public-private partnerships, and so some of the state-owned enterprises, for example, in the energy sector, they've made the rules and regulations easier to put up your, let's say, your renewables. So in that space, it's created more jobs, more opportunities. But they, you know, in the same token, you know, you look at how businesses are battling as well. And what's happened is, because businesses are battling, they've also, you know, there's organizations that would assist with your small and medium enterprises, trying to give funding or trying to assist with funding and compliances and training, you know, incubation programs. So there's been a lot happening in the Western Cape, which I think is very proactive to assist our businesses. And one should maybe possibly go to the City of Cape Town's website and see what events are happening. I mean, you look at the social media websites, and you'll see, even on Facebook, you know, our mayor has been running campaigns in terms of looking at just showcasing what he's particularly doing in the Western Cape.
Well, from the point of compliance, for example, I know you've been working a lot with investors as well. You know, what are, like, or how do policies and political decisions actually in South Africa affect the way international investors do business in the Western Cape?
Look, for investors, it's a numbers game. It's you know, in terms of the compliances and in terms of being investor ready, there are quite a few boxes that need to be ticked. And for yourself as a business, once you're looking at what does your profile look like? Do you have a business plan? Do you have projections? You know, what is the return on investment? And that's one of the most important factors. And should an investor come on board, one of the things that they would look at is your cash flow. You know, how have you been conducting yourself, and for how long? And if we're bringing projects in, you know, from start to finish, when does that investor get his return on investment? When does that business flow? So those are important aspects to any investor to make sure that they will fund you, because you know that's a risk mitigation is very important for them, because no investor wants to invest in you and they cannot see a return on investment or see how this is going to benefit them. So being investor ready as an entrepreneur or as an SMME is vital to getting an opportunity with investors.
But does South Africa have policies that favor foreign investors?
They would, in terms of even when it comes to taxation, when it comes to import, export, that kind of thing. Yes, they are depending on how large the project is. So the city or government is trying to promote investors coming in. So what they have is if they don't have they have events where various countries come in and they promote what they're having or what they have in place. Let's say your energy sector or whatever the sectors are. It's been promoted that you have a day where people with like-minded interests can attend and then collaborate with companies overseas and see how they can find a synergy, you know, or even in terms of technology. There's a lot of technology that most businesses don't have, and attending some of these events assists you to apply your mind differently, because especially with AI and the way everything is going, one needs to change the way you think. But if you're looking to maybe do business with the city, your compliances are very important, because your corporates can't do business with you if you're not compliant. So, and that's making sure that your taxes are up to date. It's making sure that, you know, all your returns are submitted, making sure that, and for you also, you need to make sure that, you know, your business ticks those boxes, that should an investor or government even want to assist you in funding, your business is a lucrative one. And it's difficult in this climate, especially after COVID. Everybody battled, but I mean, even an angel investor you know, will not just put money in without monitoring how that business is going to grow. So you need to have a mindset that says, what is my 5-year projection, or what's my 10-year projection? What does this look like? What do I envisage to do as turnover? What are my expenses looking like? What capital investments do I need to get from point A to point B? And so sometimes it's also bringing people on board with the expertise, because an entrepreneur or someone even in the agricultural sector may not have the expertise to do all that to comply. They may not have the know-how, but you know, asking and seeking assistance, and even, like I said, you know, our government has business plans, websites on these sites, and so you can go and have a look, download a free business plan. But you as a business, it's your responsibility to make sure that you comply in every aspect, to make sure that you're investor ready, that monies are going to be given. You know, there's an expression that says, a fool and his money is easily parted. So, you know, if you're looking to promote your business, it means you've got to put in that effort, because you are the vision carrier of your business. And once you do that, I think years ago what I did was I had a magazine, and in that magazine were 500 most successful businesses in South Africa. And just taking a look at that, you'd think that this is a magazine, how's this going to assist me? But what I did was I assisted some businesses. Let's say it's a branding company. I'd go and look and see who are the branding companies in there, and then send them an email, do an introductory letter, send them an email, and find out if they have incubation programs. And try and get on there so that you can grow your business because you are like-minded, and or even if you may be possibly seeking how someone got from an SMME to a corporate. There's a journey that they had followed, and sometimes most of their stories are in there, so we can grow and learn from those who's gone ahead of us. And then just take it to that level. How can I grow my business if this man is a multimillionaire? How did he get there? What did he do? It's not about luck. It's about asserting yourself and finding common people that can assist you on your journey, and taking on challenges head on without shying back or shrinking back, because it's very competitive. It's one thing to work for a company to get a salary every month, whether or not you've performed well. It's a whole different story when you as an entrepreneur need to bring in money to sustain yourself and your business.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask right now on the context of SMMEs and entrepreneurs. I wanted to know, because many entrepreneurs usually go for financing, and they struggle a lot to get financing. To get financed by either loan providers or lenders or banks and all these things. What could be the biggest problem? Or in other words, let me say, what are the things that actually those financial institutions look at when they are about to finance an SMME?
An SMME must have a good record of cash flow. You must be able to manage your money. You must have a mindset that says, I can grow this business within the next 5 years, and show it through your financials. So you take, let's say, a 3-year financials, and one can actually see, year on year, how you're doing, where most of your expenses are. For example, if I was looking at, let's say, a trucking company, and I look at your financials, I want to have a look at where your most expenses are. So when I look at the expenses, I see it's repairs and maintenance. Now that means I need to hone in or zone in terms of why they're spending that much on repairs and maintenance. Now that might be that the trucks are outdated, and so they're spending all that money repairing their vehicles, and that doesn't sit well when someone in the financial sector is looking at your financials, because those are the things that they would hone in. Where are your expenses out of sync? And do you have a reasonable explanation in terms of why your expenses are out of sync?
Yeah.
And I think coming through COVID, it was very difficult, because to understand. So the investors had to find a different approach in terms of how they would look at finances, because everybody was almost at the same place where you couldn't really look at performance. And so, but the key thing is your growth factor and your financial stability, your cash flow, how you manage the money coming into the business. A lot of businesses, when money comes into their business, that's not your profit. So sometimes I did books privately, or I still do, and I look at some of the expenses. I mean, your bank statement looks like a grocery list, so it's not necessarily all your business expenses. So you have to guide your entrepreneur, your SMME, draw a salary and use a different banking account for the things that you need in your private life and your business. Let it be that business bank account that shows, okay, you know what, this is my turnover, that's my cost of sales, these are my expenses, and work on working at getting to healthy profits. That's the only way your investors are going to come in and say, you know what, we can see your growth, and if you see I have potential, or I have purchase orders to the value of millions, but I don't have the strategy or the means to get there without a financial injection, then that is what you need to promote and say, my company has done this, this is where I want to be, this is the opportunity provided to me, and this is how I want to get. But the most important part when you're looking at investment is go and have a look at what does your investment want an equity share? What are the interest rates that they're giving you, that they're providing for you, and what is the growth potential of what's coming in, and then make decisions in terms of once the loan is paid back, is there a clawback clause in there? There's many things that one needs to look at when you're going for financing, because it's one thing to get thrown with a lot of money and you think it's your profits, and at the end of the day you're making losses, and that doesn't look well. That doesn't, it just sustainability for yourself and the people that you're employing starts thinning out, and it creates problems, and for another investor to come in, they're not going to come near you with a 10-foot barge pole if that's what's happening on your books. That's the only way for them to ascertain which direction you're going.
That was really deep, and but now, because of our time, I wanted you to provide some advice to the SMMEs out there, entrepreneurs out there who are in Western Cape, and they're looking at what we need to do. Like, we're struggling, we've been doing this for a very long time, but it looks like things are not moving. What advice would you give to those people?
First of all, don't give up. I have a personal policy, if I may share. My policy is you get up and you show up.
Yeah.
And it means that you're working for yourself. And that doesn't mean you stay in bed till 10 o'clock because you're not accountable to anyone. It means you're going to get up and you're going to show up, even if you don't know what your day looks like.
Yeah.
So you're applying yourself, because it's about your mindset. Don't adopt poverty mentalities in terms of, I don't have, so I can't get. Go out and look and see what is available to me. There are many ways to skin a cat, and there are many opportunities out there. A lot of opportunities are missed because people don't do the necessary homework, or they don't know where to look. And if you look at even in terms of your own business, and you go out and you go and look for people that has, or businesses that has similar businesses, and look and see what they're doing, or create synergies between yourself and other businesses. Go to networking breakfasts or coffees, and go and meet with other business people. Have your business cards ready. Have your business profile ready. So when you meet someone and they're going to look you up, they're going to see, you know what, I really, this person is of interest to me. And when networking is key. Networking is one of the most key aspects of your business, because you're going to meet people who would either want to do business with you. And when you see people face to face, it's very different to, I think what I did in COVID, it was very difficult. We couldn't move around. So what I did was, I did introductory letters, but I went out and looked strategically where I want to focus, where my area of focus is on. And I went to corporates.
Okay.
I went to, because remember, with the corporates, any company doing 10 million and over, they have to do a social responsibility. So there's and even if you're youth between 18 and 35, if you're a woman, there's Preferential Procurement Policy Framework Act. If you're youth, it means any tender that goes out, 30% of that has got to be allocated to you as a woman or youth, and that gives you access to market. You need to look at what's available in terms of what, for example, the city has got they've got requests for quotation, which means I think that they've actually put a threshold in that you don't have to go through a tender process.
Okay.
And then you could actually just go in and put in a quotation and then try and see, how you could, get that business. But also there are initiatives. So there's purchase order funding. So you have a purchase order, but you don't have the money or the means to get the commodity or whatever it is to sell. You don't have the financial capability. Have a look at your margins. I think for myself personally, in being in the civil industry, in construction, I would look at volume instead of margin. So I keep my margins low, but I look at volume. So I know that I would want to take this road from this point to that point, and these are the people I'm going to target that's working on those roads, which means I've got to go to Sandal websites. I've got to go and have a look and see what roads are being constructed or what roads are being maintained. I need to go and see, and if you go and look at their website, you would have a look and you'll see who was awarded those contracts, even on the City of Cape Town, who's been awarded. And you don't necessarily need to go in for a tender or a contract. You go to who's been awarded and you go and discuss with those people, listen, I would love to render a service to you, or can I subcontract for you? And that is how you begin to build your brand, and just do this one day at a time, bite-sized pieces.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you very much, Ms. Renee, for bringing that so insightful points. And for those who have been following us from the other side, thank you very much for following us. Thank you for keeping in touch with us. Don't forget to subscribe on my page on YouTube, which is Lucy Mario and Simao, to follow more of such content, and also connect with us on LinkedIn. Thank you very much for following, and see you in the next chapter.